And welcome to another
Okay.
episode of That's All Funny. With me today is a guest, singer, songwriter, actress, real life Disney princess, Misty Posey. How are you doing today, Misty?
So good, Lorenzo.
That's great. No, I know you're here in Texas too, so the weather
Yeah.
is actually starting to get more beautiful.
Yeah, it's cooling off a bit.
Yeah, no, usually it's so hot. I know my buddy likes to grow like herbs and stuff,
Yeah.
and the heat is just so hot. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
Everything died. I try because I'm so organic and I try to do a lot of organic things and I tried to grow things and everything just died except the herbs. I
Yeah.
think I think they survived better than anything else. It
Oh,
was
it's
hot.
just it is so hot. Yeah, it is really hot. And I would just stay inside most of the time, with the remote jobs and stuff, but it is just
Hmm.
unbearably hot and all day too.
Yeah,
Uh
all day.
from
Yeah.
from 8 in the morning till 8 at night is just hot.
Yes. Still in the hundreds. Still in the hundreds at night. Yeah, I performed. Well, let's see. It was just a few weeks ago in at the Sherwood Forest in McDade. I think it is. I always get those mixed up. I think it's McDade. So right down there towards Austin, and it was hot. It was a hot day. I'm gonna post some videos of our performances, but I've never drank so much cold water ever. It was a good 108 degrees singing on an outdoor stage.
Jeez, that is I don't know. I can't even just sit in a chair outside at 108 degrees, let alone your you know, giving off, and then especially with the voice you project. It's like such a powerful voice. You're not just phoning it in, or it's not lip syncing.
No,
Yeah, it's
no
it's a
lip
lot of
syncing.
no, it's
It's
a lot of I
it's
don't know.
live. It's a lot of energy. It's a
It's a
lot of
lot of lung and
breathing.
lung and diaphragm and all that. You're
Yep,
using every part. Yeah.
a lot of
No,
work.
I I was listening to your music on YouTube and the videos you have there, and like vocally speaking, I don't know, you're amazing. It's like such a, like we were just saying, like it's so powerful. It's, I don't know.
Thank you.
I yeah, I saw that you had trained in like college for this like unique style,
Hmm.
the Celtic music, and
Yeah.
you actually
Yeah.
trained over there in the Celtic lands.
Yeah. Well, I haven't had training in the Celtic lands, but from some of the singers there that live in Ireland.
Hmm.
So, uh, I, it's wow. I've just gotten training from so many different places. I started out classically, and just thought I would take classes in college. So I did that for a few years, and I tried to audition for Disney, and they were saying that I was way too classical at that point, and I was for their
Mm.
princesses. So then I started kind of um, going with some private instructors, and so I went several different ways, just with lots of different people, because you can learn from everybody. And all the cultures sound a little bit different because there's all this different placement for the voice, and there's different ways to use it. As long as you're just not harming it, you just always want to take care of it and try to not force it. And that's kind of my thing. Is always just trying to let it do its own thing as much as I can.
That's, I mean, and like I said, with your music, or your voice specifically, it gets so powerful, and
I do get that
um
comment. It's so funny, especially like the like senior centers or some places where I'll go, and people will just say, "How does so much sound come out of such a little body?" Which is like the funniest thing that they say that. So
no, it's a legit question. It is very amazing, but I imagine you're still learning, but then years, like you said, years of
Mm.
training and years of all that. And I know you're classically, you've
Hmm.
kind of mixed these
Yeah,
uh
just
mi-
mix the trainings
mhm,
and mix the genres to fit really what interests me most. You know, I had started auditioning for Broadway musicals and things, and I just found a lot of it I wasn't interested in a lot of the music. Like a lot, I wasn't interested in a lot of the classical music either. I just wasn't interested. And so that's when I thought, well, I should really be making what I love if I'm going to spend my time on it. And so I just started honing in on things that interested me. And um, I'll watch a movie and I'll listen to the music, and I'm just like, wow, like that I love. Like I'll love medieval type movies, fantasy type movies, like the
mhm.
heroic fantasy movies. Even like Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, things like that.
Uh-huh.
And um, I just listen to those movies sometimes. I think, this is kind of the realm I want to write in, and so I'll write more of what's, I don't know, a little magic to what I write in the lyrics and everything. I think not so ordinary, not so everyday. You won't find a cell phone in my writing.
uh, and did growing up, because I know you trained in more like your college years.
Mhm.
Growing up, did you like that music? Did you grow up listening to a different music? Because I know
Hmm.
you're here in Texas. I don't know if you grew up in Texas.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I grew up in Texas,
Uh-huh.
and I grew up really more on pop music more than anything. So whatever was on the radio,
No,
I
me
didn't.
too.
Yeah, I didn't really have a whole lot of um, I didn't have a whole lot of classical music yet.
Hmm.
So I had really just started, getting into that, just
Well, and then
with my
being
voice.
being here in Texas, it's all, I wouldn't say it's the demographic of country music, but that's kind of rock and roll country, especially being around Austin, the blues. So I don't know what kind of inspired you to go
Mm.
that route. Did you see that? Did you go to like a opera or see a play or
I
Disney, and it
think
just like,
so. I think maybe
yeah.
Phantom of the Opera and Sarah Brightman might have been a really big influence for me, and Josh Groban. So hearing
Mm,
them, I just thought, wow. My voice was already kind of going in the classical direction just a little bit. I had met some singers that I had sang at church with, and um, their voices did these beautiful things, mine just started going that way too. So,
okay.
so yeah, and then when you start looking at music colleges, that's their main thing, and for good reason, because classical music has a lot of um, it teaches you a lot on how to use your voice well. And so you can use that in everything. You can use that teaching in everything.
That's interesting. I didn't think that. And then
Mhm.
Celtic music, I was looking it up to what kind of made it its own thing, and it's essentially just like the music from that area of the world, right? I
Mhm.
mean, it's it's a
Yeah.
certain language, like with the Welsh, the Welsh, the Welsh, the
Yeah,
Irish.
Wales, Irish, Scottish. If I start naming them all, I'm going to mess up on something. I just know it.
But
But
it's kind of dying there too, or at least that language, the
well,
particular languages.
the, their language had the Gaelic languages had such a tough time because it was taken away from those regions. They weren't allowed to speak them, and they weren't allowed to teach them in school, and so that's how they started learning English. Um, it's coming back. Actually, people want their language back, in Ireland especially. But I know that they're all holding on to it really great. It's just that there was such an imbalance. Once they weren't allowed to teach it and they weren't allowed to speak it, it was hard to go back because that's relearning something for, you know.
Yeah, of course. I know my grandparents being Mexican, they weren't really allowed once here in America to speak Spanish, and that's why I
Mm,
was never taught it because
Mm-hmm.
they told me, hey, growing up we'd get hit with in the hand with the ruler if we spoke it. So
Oh,
I can
from
understand
your
that.
family? From your
Ye-
family? Or
yeah, like here in
okay.
America at schools and stuff like that. The
Oh, really?
yeah,
Really?
yeah. This was like at least 2 or 3 generations back,
Okay.
but I could understand that you'd want to get more in touch with a culture, or I don't know if it runs in your blood a little bit of the
Yeah,
Celtic.
my yeah, yeah, my grandmother's side of the family was Irish, and
Hmm.
my dad has some Germanic on his side of the family as well. So um, when I heard those languages, I think some things just stay with you family wise somehow. I think it's just maybe sort of in your DNA or something. And when I heard
Oh
them,
yeah.
it just to me it was kind of starting to come really easily. So it made sense at least, even if I had to, kind of follow along. I was like, yeah, this when I hear it, when I see it, it makes sense. So I love the Gaelic languages, and I love to hear them. I love German too. I love
And
Mexican
that's the
music.
oh yeah, no, it's
I
it,
love
growing up around it, because my family, I would hear it all the time, and it's kind of like this is boring, because you hear it
really.
all the time. You hear it
Uh
all the
huh.
time, so you're like, eh. But
Mm,
now being more grown up, I appreciate it more. But I just like you, I grew up more with like '90s pop music, just because it was hand me downs from my sister, you know.
okay, okay. So you had the hand-me-down '90s pop music, and that's
Yeah.
kind of what you were going towards.
Yeah, that's what I like. The Michael Jackson, the No Doubt, the Ace of Base, Spice Girls. I just grew up with that.
Well, I really like mariachi bands. I think that's so beautiful, and
Hmm.
anything that traditional Mexican sound, I really like a lot.
Yeah, and again, it's now being older, you appreciate it more. As a kid, you're like, it's everywhere, cheese, like.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's I always tell my niece that she'll listen to something and be like, "Eh," I'm like, when you're older, you'll appreciate it more. Believe me, that's exactly what I went through. Uh, I see you put out, covers of music. You have original music,
Mm-hmm.
collaborations with
Yeah.
you and other people, or also in harpist.
Yes.
It
Yes.
and then you also do like Disney covers, and you do an amazing Disney princess. I saw photos of
Yeah.
you as Elsa.
Yeah.
What's your favorite like music you enjoy doing the most out of all that, as
Mm.
far as your own?
Oh, oh. Well, I that's a lot, but I do I well, no, that's great. It's great. I do love I love singing with harp. And I didn't know how much I liked harp until I started singing with it. And so I am now taking harp lessons as well. So I'm a current harp student. So first thing in the morning, I'm out, with the birds, playing my harp for a good 30 minutes, and I'm just getting there. So that'll be my new instrument. My voice has always been my focus, and because wow, I mean, it really can take a lot of training to do what I would call vocal acrobatics, probably
Hmm. Oh no,
in my
yeah.
music, because I go from within the songs that I write, I'll go from a kind of almost a pop sound, and go a few a few layers up in my head voice up to the upper head voice, and and it's different everywhere you use your voice. It's different, and I'm also demanding that it fit all in one song, so I have to quickly make all these little changes where I'm using my voice. So it can take a lot of training. So
Yeah.
that's been my main focus. But yes, I'm starting to play harp, and I'm gonna love that, I think, a lot.
Yeah, and I know this is you simplifying it. I know there's way more to it than meets the eye.
Yeah, yeah, that
Just
was my
kind of.
rambling simplified.
No, no, no. I can only imagine, and like me simply hearing you. I know this is me kind of like dumbing it down, but it reminds me of like Celine Dion, like the
Mm,
way you're able to almost your whispers are powerful, and then you go to that higher up or that more
yeah,
powerful, and it's just like,
yeah,
geez,
yeah.
like and it's like you said, so quick. It's not it could
Mm,
be this gradual build up, but otherwise you're
right.
just
Yeah,
going from high to low.
yeah.
It, no, it's amazing.
There's a lot of mechanics in there.
Like I said, I feel like I'm simplifying it by saying that.
Oh, not at all. Not at all. Everybody has a different way to say something, and obviously, there's technical terms, and sometimes I'm just like, let's just explain it how we want to explain it. And I love people's comments. I'll hear them and their comments about the voice, and I like to hear what people hear. So it's nice
Mm,
and just very refreshing to hear somebody explain what they think they're hearing. I think that's beautiful. So
yeah, no, it really is. I see you've even done like religious tours in Mexico.
yeah, yeah. So my youth group went there, and we went to a lot of churches in the area. We went to Mexico City. We went to Acapulco. I'm not sure I said that right.
No,
Acapulco.
yeah.
Is that
Uh-huh.
right? So and some other places right around there. So that was really beautiful.
Hmm.
There was a lot of palm trees all over Mexico.
No, it is a beautiful city. I know that. I just I wish I spoke some Spanish to appreciate it more, because I know
Yeah.
me being I'm not saying it's like a bad thing, but when you're like a Mexican who doesn't speak the native tongue, it's kind of like, well, why don't you?
Oh,
you know?
well, you know, well, you are an American, and
Yeah,
yeah, our
yeah.
families are from places, but we don't, you can't learn everything. There's only so much
Hmm.
time. But I am learning more Irish, and I'm learning a little bit of the Scots Gaelic. And so I like that. And yeah, you could just start learning a bit of Spanish. Did you have Spanish in high school, maybe? Or
Yeah, yeah. And I took like the most basic, and I know,
mm.
enough to get me through to the bathroom or here and there to a restaurant.
Yeah,
But I do, that is one of my like, oh man, they
sounds
didn't
like you
teach
have
me that.
lessons coming
Yeah.
up.
Now it's so much easier, yeah, with the world and stuff like that. I really do need to catch up, get more in my roots.
Yeah, I mean, does your family speak Spanish? Do they
My
speak?
sis well, my sister knows it,
Uh huh.
but it's only, when necessary.
Okay.
And I'm not saying it isn't necessary. I know the a lot of America's going more Spanish and or Mexican, of the language, but that's just me finding excuses to not start it.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm sure you will. I'm sure you'll get to learning a bit for sure.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. No, I'll definitely will, especially with the easiness of today, where you can go on YouTube or something and just learn a whole, you
Yeah.
know, go to sleep with it and wake up speaking it. And I see you are doing this flattery Irish music retreat.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
a teacher for it, or teaching?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is my first year that I'm going to be participating. And so I am going to be in charge of a song session. So
Mhm.
um, there are teachers in all of the classes and teaching specific instruments and things. And then there's song leaders or session leaders. So after the classes, there's sessions that are led by people. So I'm gonna lead a song session, and I'm going to also perform. So with my voice plus harp group, my duo. So we're going to perform the first day that we're there for the early morning breakfast to Wake everyone up. The beautiful thing about O'Flaherty's is that the retreat is that there is music everywhere. So, I mean, they have the meals, you're going to have music. You're going to learn music in the classes. If you're walking from class to class, you're going to hear music. If you are, and then at the end of the day, there's concerts. So there's going to be music. So concerts at the beginning of the day at breakfast, concert at the end of the day. And then you have little sessions where you get to play your own instrument and sing your own songs with the song session leaders or the session leaders. So
No, that's beautiful. And yeah, I've been to a retreat before. I know when I was getting my confirmation to baptize my niece, and it's a beautiful thing, you know, as far as being together with people and kind of unite, you know, feeling like a sense of unitedness. Uh, as far as like religion and stuff, did the music make you more religious? Did you always grow up religious or?
well, I'm not very religious, but I absolutely believe in God, and I follow I follow Jesus's example. So even though I'm not like I think like a church religious Christian, I've sort of just gone into a Christian that would follow Jesus, like his example, and just doing good. Try to do. I find that I am closer to God, not thinking about a religion or a church, because I just think God put me on this earth, and I want to do good by the earth and by the people on it, and everything I do, just go with good, which is what God would intend, I think. And I'm living more organically than ever, and I think that that's just opened my eyes more to wow, there's a God and a purpose, and there's a life I've been given. Where when you start out, you grow up and everybody's eating the fast food and the just things that aren't quite real, that I didn't notice it at first,
Hmm.
but then when you go and you start to try to do your own garden or something, like my granddad, he always had a garden and everything, but once you start eating just those whole foods and stuff, I don't know, it's just different. It's like, whoa, like I don't know, you kind of notice there's a life instead of um a life being made up, because
Mm-hmm.
I used to, you know, be drawn to foods with like all the coloring and stuff in it, and now I look at it and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's not even real at all. I'm like, I can't even imagine eating that now. Just so yeah, I've been like on this kick for 5 years now. I met
Oh
friends
wow.
in Florida when I was, down there recording and taking classes and everything. And my friends there was like, "Oh, no, you really should be, eating this way," and it just opened my eyes. And so I just feel like I have more of a real life now.
No, I can't imagine. I know I always read that all the time because I have, you know, like depression, anxiety, and there's that gut mind connection where
Mm-hmm.
whatever you eat, I mean, it's in your body, so it's connected to your mind, it's connected to
Yeah.
your emotions, and I can't
Mm-hmm.
imagine you being on it for 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, how much better you would feel, you know?
Yeah, yeah, it's so strange. It's almost not even physical. It's almost spiritual. It's like you just opened your eyes because everything that you are in contact with is now real and not somebody trying to like make a cartoon out of a pastry, that's all like bright
Yeah.
yellow and bright. Like now it's like everything is so real. It's just amazing. So it's different. So I suggest everybody try, just eating what I would call paleo in a way.
Uh
Just
huh.
that's what my friends first told me. They're like, you should eat paleo. And so then I thought, paleontologist, that makes sense. Close to the earth. It's like, well, that seems real. It seems more real. And so they thought, they said, well, just think about like if you're in the forest and you're out foraging for yourself or hunting for yourself, what would you eat? It wouldn't be this.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
I didn't think I would ever go on a drive without going through a drive-through and just be like, "Oh, here I want my fries and everything." And but I do. But it's harder cuz
No.
you go on a tour and you've got to go like a couple states, few states, and you got to drive and you got to find food for yourself while you're out. And it's work. You like if you can't find it, you got to take it with you, and it's gotta last while you're traveling. So
Mhm. Yeah,
I've
I
had to
know you
find ways.
the organic food too, that without all the, preservatives and all
Yeah,
that, it goes pretty quick too, I imagine, but,
yeah. So it's a lot
uh
more work now. I will tell you that it is work. I can't just fly out the door and just be like, oh well, wherever I go, I'll just stop at the gas station or stop here and get something because that's not gonna happen. So it's a whole workload before
Mhm,
I go to perform somewhere that's far away. It's a whole workload just to prepare food that's going to last or to find
mhm.
places. So,
No,
but
that's very,
yeah.
very I don't know what's the word, like, commendable. It's a hard way to live, but I'm sure it's
Mm-hmm.
rewarding in its own way,
It
you know?
really is. And I couldn't imagine turning back. I just can't imagine. So, uh, like
Ha
every
have you
now
know
and then.
have you noticed, well, you say for 5 years you've been like that. Have you
Mm-hmm.
noticed it, like, help you with your, like, voice? Do you notice any more changes there?
A little bit, yeah. Just a little bit. The healthier you are and the stronger you are, the better your voice is. And of course, you also have to get good sleep and, things like that. And
Mhm,
sometimes, you just can't sleep because there's such a demand for you to be answering emails and things that are, on an internet source. And that sort of thing can really, disrupt, the blue lights and things like that can
mhm,
really
mhm.
disrupt sleep. So yeah, it's kind of a whole thing. You gotta get good sleep too. So yeah, so
Well,
but
I'm glad you're finding a, balance in there, and I remember we were talking about how you're from Texas, I'm from Texas too, I'm here in San Antonio. Did is there a do you plan like I was telling you about country music, do you ever plan to go that pandering route of, the demographic of country music, or is
there
this
are
not
some
your
country
thing?
songs that I love. There are some
Uh,
country songs that I just love. And I was just hearing some of my family we've we've never really my family's never listened to country music, not really, unless it was just something on the radio.
mhm,
But my family went to an Oak Ridge Boys concert, and I just thought that's got to be so cool. I missed it. I couldn't go. Um, but I think that they have the coolest sound. Yeah, don't. Oh, Elvira, that's one of their songs. Elvira. Dun, 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 bum, ba-da, Elvira, something like that. I don't know. I don't know the song,
uh,
obviously. It's such a cool sound, though. Such a cool sound, and they have a cool sound. And their harmonies, I think, are interesting.
mhm.
But no, there's um, Tim McGraw has a lot of songs I like "Live Like You Were Dying." Um,
I
it's
love,
off the tip of
Dolly
my head.
Parton. Dolly
She has such an interesting voice, and
mhm.
I don't know I don't know if she ever trained it or if she just like kind of let it go, but it does seem like she does a very good job of just letting her voice do what it should.
Yeah,
She,
she has that, like you said, that unique voice, but
mm-hmm.
she plays into it and, knows I don't know what to sing, beautiful songwriter, she's kind of venturing more into rock and roll now, but,
Is
uh,
she
at the
really?
tender age of yeah, at the
Really?
tender age of however
I
old
just
she
didn't
is.
think that she would. Well, I'm not going to go into country music, but I certainly have been wanting to sing some of the country songs, so country
Mhm.
western songs, and just do it up, kind of classical crossover style, just nice and
Make it
clean.
your own style. Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes just sometimes just uh, the change in instruments will give the sound that a song needs, and yeah,
Mhm.
just sing it. So yeah, there's a lot I will probably do. I am actually thinking about it. So
No, that'd be definitely fun, and especially for the Texas crowd, and then also
yes, that's what I was
just
thinking.
and then also just like you said, vocally, I'm sure it can. I mean, you're trained so well and all that, but I'm sure you could. You always learn something from just trying out something new and be like, oh, okay, that's cool. I could,
Yeah.
there's always a place to learn somewhere, even
Yeah.
in our mistakes. I know that. Um, I saw you're an actress as well. I know you'd sent me some videos, and that they were they were pretty funny. The little short films and stuff like that.
Yep.
Uh, I'll make sure and put them in the links in the descriptions and stuff. Uh, Acting, was that something you wanted to do, or did someone
Yes. I
bring that
trained
up?
for all this all at once. I'm sorry about that.
Oh no.
I I trained for all of it all at once. So, I mean, while I'm training for singing, I'm training for acting and um yeah, I'm just doing it all at once. um and writing. So I I didn't take college classes for acting. I did that at Lisa Maley in Orlando because they did the on-camera acting, TV and commercial and film. So, I've been in a few little small parts in commercials, and I started in student films, and I did send you one of the very first student films that I did. A likely story that Joseph was a great director. Everybody on that set was great. It was one of the best sets I've ever been on, and that was just starting out. It's just incredible. And I was actually kind of thrown into the role because I think I'm really not sure because I kind of forgot, but I think that the person who was supposed to be the the plaintiff wasn't able to come last minute, and so they're like, "Oh, okay, well, okay, we're gonna get you to do it." I'm like, "Okay, great," you know. So I was, thrown into this. Okay, okay, what's the storyline? That sort of thing. So,
Hmm, hmm.
that was just a fun set, and I didn't have to say any lines or anything. I just gave her my looks.
And that sometimes, well, that again, like it's harder to do that, especially you look at silent films, and that's all they had was
Yeah.
playing emotion off of your facial expressions. So that's
Mm-hmm.
especially nowadays, like
Yeah.
that
I
adds
just
so much
have
more.
such an awe for some actors. I'll just watch them and um there's last night I was watching Monk. I don't know if you've ever seen the
I know of it.
germaphobe
Yeah,
detective, which I
yeah,
can
I know
understand
of it.
a little bit. Um
I know
so
he's award winning actor in that
Tony
show.
Shalhoub. Tony
Yeah,
Shalhoub. He's just got all these little ticks where he's all uncomfortable and everything.
yeah.
He just plays the role so beautiful. You wanna just help him, and he's also just so genius that you wanna respect him. And we were watching the Halloween episode last night, and because I was like, I need a break. So I had my little hour break last night, and I was also watching Captain Stottlemyre, which is he is I mean, that's his character name. I don't know his actor name, but Captain Stottlemyre.
Mhm.
I just watched his little reactions on his eyes and the way that he looked at Tony, and I was just like, wow, he's a really good actor. And it's the little things.
Oh
It's
yeah.
the little things and the voice when you're singing. It's the little things in an actor when they are acting. It's usually not even the really big things. It's the little things that people notice that
Mhm.
that makes them great. So,
No, yeah, those subtleties that
yeah.
you if you don't notice they're there, but if they weren't there, you would notice, Like,
Yes.
so you have to kind of look for them, and
Subtlety is an art, and it is
yeah.
beautiful. Uh, I mean, it makes everything. I'm gonna tell you, if you don't have good background actors and good, supporting actors, it really affects. the
Mhm.
a film, so you need everybody, not just the lead. So
Mhm. No, I imagine even well in music too, like you said, if you have the band, the producers, the
mhm.
everyone's important. I don't think there's any little parts in anything.
Yeah.
Um
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, we've oh at the beginning of the year we were working on recordings for all these Irish songs and Scottish songs, actually both that I've been recording, and oh. The studios, because they're new for me, because I was recording in the Orlando and Tampa area when I did my first album, so I was coming here and I was trying out some studios, and then the COVID pandemic, I hate to even mention it, but there's that stretch of time where
mhm.
it just kind of stopped for us.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah.
went back and tried to start recording again and finish it up this spring. And I got the tracks back, and there were mistakes in the tracks. So they actually had to be, fixed because something had gone wrong in the recording. And it was just this
That's a shame.
constant noise in the in the recording. It was so bad. It was so bad. So it was a lot. It's been a lot of go back and redo work this year because
Mhm.
yeah, you gotta have that team that is solid. And I gotta say, I've worked with some great engineers and some great producers who just did their jobs. Just this great, beautiful sound. So when I would record, I was like, that's beautiful. Yeah, that's great. Um, but mistakes happen. It just happens. Um,
Oh
so
yeah. And
I'm
and I
gonna
know your voice in particular is like handling lightning in a bottle, I'm sure, like
a little bit.
yeah, I'm sure there's a producer that's like, "Oh geez, I've never handled
I
you know."
brought some interesting instruments into the studios too. I've where they'll look at, well, we've never recorded that before. I'm like, can we figure that out? Can we figure out how to put the Ilian pipes in and the harp in and a bagpipe and so and so yeah, but they've done a good job. But no, just technical issues. You really
Mhm.
got to have your engineers really on top of that so that you don't do full recordings and then have to go redo them.
Oh yeah, that's a shame. No, but I'm
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
glad all that's getting ironed out, and you learn
yeah.
from your mistakes. Even with the mistakes,
Mm-hmm.
you
Oh yeah.
you learn you learn from those too.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're kind of like stretched for time. I'm gonna ask you like one more couple more questions.
Okay.
I know you do your Disney princesses. Who's your favorite Disney princess to dress up
Um,
as cosplay?
Ariel. Ariel, she's got the beautiful red hair and she's got the song that I
Hmm.
love to sing, and everybody loves to sing, loves to hear part of that world, part of your world.
Oh, fu-
Yeah.
so great, so
Yeah, and
great.
she's such a sweet character. Just such a sweet character with her dad and everything, and
Hmm.
falling in love, and and she's got so much spirit, and so she's a great character. I love her a lot.
No, such a great song. And as far as I mean, I love Little Mermaid.
Mm-hmm.
I love that song, but as a whole soundtrack for a Disney, let's say
It's
movie,
good. Yeah.
yeah. But I would say my favorite is Hercules. Have you
Really?
ever
Because
heard the your Hercules soundtrack?
I don't know if I have actually.
It,
I know what
it
you're talking
yeah.
about. You know what? I did see it once. I
Hmm.
should go back and watch it now.
There's a song that Megara sings toward the end. That's a very shoo bop, and
Uh huh.
it's such a fun song. What I can go the distance is a great song too.
Okay.
By
Okay.
him. But yeah, I was gonna ask you, what's your favorite like overall soundtrack? If you had to pick like from a Disney cartoon,
That would be Brave.
Brave. I
Brave,
love that
yeah.
movie. I love
It's
that movie.
I mean the the Celtic sounds, lots of Scottish. Like it's just beautiful. I just love it. And I actually watched the cartoon just to hear the music and the accents. Cuz
And did they did do justice for it and all that? I
Yeah.
know you
Oh
would.
yeah. They did.
Okay.
Disney is a little bit of an inspiration for me loving Celtic music because they put little bits in Tinkerbell. There's little bits
Hmm.
of it in there, and little bits of it. There's a lot of it in Brave, and so even though they Disney has their own style, right? So they put little bits of sounds from kind of they cross over like I do a little bit,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
so yeah, they inspire me to think a little bit out of the box, and so yeah, Disney was gave me some of those sounds that I loved, and I would hear them in other places, and I was like, every time I heard these instruments, I loved them, and that's how I decided, yeah, I'm gonna go into the Celtic music realm for myself because that's what I love. And I couldn't say that about anything else before that. So,
Oh no, that's great. I was thank you so much for your time today, Misty.
yeah.
I wish you nothing but the best, and all your endeavors, whether it be singing, acting, your teaching, your humanitarian type efforts. No, I think the world needs it now the most,
Mm,
and I feel like music is a great way, if not the best way, to spread that word
yeah.
of peace, happiness, and just
Yeah.
everyone relax.
Yeah. Everybody relaxing, just look for some good, look for some happiness, and, appreciate we have a lot. Anybody, if you got a good day, hang on to it because
Hmm.
I've certainly been blessed and thank God for my life. So
No, that's great. Great to know that. Yeah, you have a good day. Hold on to it, and then
mhm.
if you do have a bad day, remember there's another day tomorrow to
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
everything to get better, and it always does. But yeah, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah.
I
Thanks
know I
so much
had
for having me.
I know I had here your name, your website, your Twitter. Anywhere else they could find you? The
Facebook.
Facebook.
Facebook, Twitter, and yes, so go to my website. That'd be great. And you can join my email list. And that way, if I'm in your area, maybe down in the Austin area singing, because I was close recently, I'll send out notifications. So when new music comes out and when new performances are coming up, you'll be notified. And when I get new merch on my website, which I'll have some coming up because the season's changing, um, then you'll get a notification too. You can head over and see if you like some of my new designs. So,
That's great. Well, that's
yeah.
mistyposeymusic.com.
Yep.
And again, I want to thank you for your time. I hope you nothing but success. And yeah, I hope to talk to you again soon. You're
Thank
great.
you. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Yeah,
All
no
right.
problem. Thank everyone
I
for
wish you the
listening.
best.
Thank you. Take care and bye.